How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you guys are new here, do me a huge favor, go down and subscribe before we get started into this video. No, I'm serious. Go down and subscribe right now. You don't want to miss future videos. Last good days out here in Wisconsin. We probably have the rest of this week, and after that, I assume it's going to be pretty cold. Today I have a little bit of time, 30-40 minutes or so before I have to be anywhere, so we're going to use that time and take the long way with this car. Start up. So I pulled it out and I just let it warm up for a second. I turned it off. One of the main reasons this car wasn't driven all too much is because it needs new tires. I was planning to do tires earlier this year, but I just never got across to it. And then I bought the Miata, and then this car kind of just got put on the back burner. Before I put it away, I'm going to do my very best to make sure I get an exterior detail and make sure it goes in clean. I will do an interior detail sometime during the winter. I'll do an oil change sometime during the winter. It's also developed a little bit of a squeak. I think something in the fan is loose, so I'm going to try tightening that down. And I'll take care of a couple of maintenance things. And then hopefully in the summer, I'll buy some tires during the winter for this and the Miata as well. And I will have the tires sitting on the side and get them mounted before we take it out on a real drive. At one point I did consider selling the car. At this point in time, I'm just going to hang on to it and see how much space is available next year going into the winter, or see what happens over the course of the next year and a half here, because things should change a little bit. This year I have space to park the car. That's not the biggest of deal, but it is a little tight, so I had thought about letting the car go for the competitive market and also just to make space and have a little bit of cash as well. We'll see what happens with the car. As of right now, I want to keep it, and if I can make space for it next year or have something by this time next year, an idea of where I can keep all the cars in an organized area, then the car will probably stick around. And that will be what I'd want. Hopefully there's a lot to change next year. We'll figure it out. I don't want to speak too much on what's going to happen because I don't know. I'm just hoping for the best. And that's all I can do. I think that's enough talking about this car. Let's go fire it up and go take it out and kind of just enjoy it on this nice 55-degree day out in Wisconsin. The last of the autumn days before we get into a nice cold winter, where hopefully we should be enjoying some snow content in the Bronco. And here we are. It's such a nice day outside after a little bit. Last couple days haven't been too bad. Nothing to complain about so far, other than a little bit of a couple week stretch earlier this month. I did put the top up and roll the windows up just because I am running a little late, unfortunately, and I'm going to have to take the highway. So I'm not going to ride with the top down on the highway. This is the third. I've owned. Nice bike. I've owned 3 cars so far with 5 speeds. I really wish that they came with 6 speeds from this day. The Miata's not too bad. This car, I really wish that it had a 6-speed transmission. Again, I said this before, back in the day, the speed limit used to be 55. So a 5-speed would be perfect. You know, you'd be at like 2,500 RPM, maybe even a little less. But nowadays, with 65, 75 miles per hour speed limits, you need a 6th gear. The more cars I drive, the more sports cars I start to drive, the less I start liking leather seats. And I know leather seats are seen as kind of a luxury thing in most vehicles, but the one thing I learned from this car, it was the first convertible that I had. When it's a hot day out, or you have the sun beaming down on you, and you want to take a shirt off, you can't do it with leather because you get all sticky. And leather does not breathe very well unless it's ventilated. And I'm just slowly starting to dislike leather seats more and more. I like the Alcantara seats in my Mustang compared to leather seats. In the Bronco, I ordered leather just because the cloth looked really cheap. I really wish they optioned a sports seat for the Bronco that looked a lot better than just basic cloth interior, because I would have gone with that. But I went with leather, so I guess we'll see how it plays out. My drive is coming to an end here. I guess I'll pick up the vlog or the video once I get not busy, and it's probably going to be nighttime. We'll put the top down, enjoy driving with the top down for a little bit on my way back home. One more thing before I go. Just because this car is based off the Z3 doesn't mean that it's a slush. This thing is like really fast. Put my foot down, instant power from that NA motor. Just a 3rd gear pull from a lower RPM. This thing flies. So it's dark outside now, but it is officially time for me to head back home. We have the BMW and the Miata here as well. I'm gonna be in the BMW. I'm gonna take the top down because it's actually quite nice outside. I'm gonna see if we're gonna take back roads because it'd be fun to take some back roads. If not, so we're gonna take the highway back, so I'm not gonna drop the top. I'm gonna drop the top when we get off the highway though, and maybe get a cool roller of the Miata as it goes by. You can hear the Miata there. I don't know how well it comes out. But yeah, I guess I'll catch you guys either when we get home or just on the way. We're gonna take the highway on the way back just because it's more efficient. We have tiny cars at night, and the Miata doesn't have the brightest lights in the world. Both of these cars at face value look very similar, but when you get in and drive them, they're completely different and they make for their own fun, different experiences. Miata is much less comfortable. This is a lot more refined, a lot more comfortable, a lot faster. The Miata is something that's a little bit more raw, and surprisingly raw, compared to a lot of the cars I've driven. Entrance onto the highway, chance to accelerate a little bit. The car's still kind of cold, so I'm just gonna take it easy. 3, 2, 1, go. And we say bye-bye. This car doesn't even stand a chance against the BMW. I mean, there is such a big power difference between these two cars. Like, I'm sure he's probably on the throttle pretty hard right now. That's probably full throttle. I'm in 5th, keep in mind, and I can just easily overtake the Miata. That's crazy. There was Halloween decorations on it. I did throw like some teeth on it just for like a picture. All of that's taken off at this point because they probably wouldn't survive the highway. But if you want to check that out, it was on my Instagram. If you're not following there, you're missing out. I never really get to see my car driven by anyone else, and when I do, it's a super cool experience just to see how the cars look from the outside. And there we have it, one of the last drives with this car for the year. I'll probably take it out a couple more times just around the block or whatnot, but last drive for the videos. So I know I don't film with this car all the time. I don't really get the opportunity to drive it all the time and as much as I would like. So that kind of reflects on the videos as well. I mainly drive the Mustang, the Miata right now, and the Lexus as well. So don't really get the time to drive the BMW. I know the Lexus isn't really on any of the videos because usually I'm just commuting with it. But I love driving this car. A little fun session ripping around with the Miata. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.